Hello there, and welcome. I'm going to start today by reading you something. The students will be able to delineate and evaluate the reasoning in seminal U.S. texts, including the application of constitutional principles and use of legal reasoning, e.g., in U.S. Supreme Court majority opinions and dissents, and the premises, purposes, and arguments in works of public advocacy, e.g., the Federalist, presidential addresses. Next, standard and benchmark. The students will analyze 17th, 18th, and 19th century foundational U.S. documents of historical and literary significance, including the Declaration of Independence, the preamble to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and Lincoln's second inaugural address for their themes, purposes, and rhetorical features. That fantastic bunch of stuff is from the Standards and Benchmarks, page 44 of a 66-page book for language arts for juniors and seniors in high school. Now, what's your first reaction? Wow? Is that your first reaction? I don't remember reading the Federalist in high school. Okay. Inaugural speeches, really? Really? Okay. And that's not a history standard and benchmark. That's an English standard and benchmark. A language arts standard and benchmark. So, why am I reading this to you? I want to talk to you about objectives. One of the things that you'll sometimes maybe be asked to do is include codes for standards and benchmarks for the state you work in your lesson plans, okay? The only person that will read them is you, if you read them, okay? I am convinced that there are books and books of standards and benchmarks that nobody's ever read. But your administrator certainly is not going to read them. Your administrator has other things to do. Your administrator is expecting you to be the expert about standards and benchmarks. And if you're a big old nerd like I am, you might read them all. But I'm telling you now, most people don't. However, in a gesture toward covering their como se llama, administrators will sometimes ask you to put symbolic coded information on which standard and benchmark you're addressing in your class. It is useless to do so because nobody knows them but you, and maybe not even you if you don't study them. Nobody reads them. Parents are not studying standards and benchmarks. Even homeschoolers are not studying standard and benchmarks. Maybe there is one or two out there that are doing it, but I guarantee they're not, okay? Maybe they are. I'm pretty sure they're not. So you're going to be the expert about your standards and benchmarks. And you're going to be the one that's going to be using your lesson plans. Don't write a lesson plan just for your principal to read because he doesn't read them. I'm telling you, principals who require you to turn in lesson plans, almost none of them read those lesson plans. They don't read them. You read them. You write them. You read them. Make them useful to you. Let them help you. I guarantee if you design your lesson plan to help you, it will help the students, and you'll be able to deal with any question, whether it's a wise question or a stupid one that comes in. And by the way, I don't believe this cliche about no stupid questions. There are plenty of stupid questions, okay? They're out there, they're floating around, the devil makes them, and they're bounteous. So, in objectives, the very first part of your lesson, the thing that's going to get done, you need to be thinking about actions. What actions are the students going to be involved in? Humans learn through actions. So you need to be thinking about what actions the students will take. If your method is going to be lecture, the action might be note-taking. The action might be discussion. The action might be them participating in putting stuff up on the board. They do stuff, they learn. If you want the perfect example of how this works, look at video games. Students are not required to play video games, and yet they learn so much in them. They learn how to play them, and they play them a lot, and they learn a lot through that action of playing the game. So you absolutely need to be thinking about their actions. If they're going to take notes, we'll get to the method that will help them take notes successfully and notes that will help them study. But above all, you're thinking about verbs. What are they going to do? What are they going to do to learn it? And what are they going to do to demonstrate that learning? What are they going to do? If you can give objectives that are clear about what you want your students to do, they're going to learn things. If you make sure that you evaluate those actions and you make sure that those actions are honored by the way you evaluate, they're going to do things, okay? And they're going to learn. Humans are made to learn. In fact, I'm convinced that the entire living world is made for learning. Plants can learn. So if plants can learn, guess what? Students can learn. The question isn't whether or not students will learn. The question is what they're going to learn. What actions are they going to take to learn what? What are they going to master? What are they going to develop? What skill and knowledge base are they going to possess when they're finished with your class? And how are you going to make sure that you evaluate that mastery, that knowledge, and that participation? Because I'll tell you the truth, it's the people that play that do that learn. When they are invested in doing something in the class, they learn something. And if you can get them doing the thing that helps them learn what you want, they will learn it. They almost won't be able to stop themselves. If you can learn to reward behavior that they learn from, that teaches them what they need to know, like singing the preamble to the Constitution, if you can reward them to that, then by golly, they will learn that. So when you're writing your objectives for your lesson, constantly focus not on what you're going to do. You can focus on that in the methods section. You're going to focus on what they're going to do. Whether it's something as sublime as think or reason, or it's something as practical as discuss or write. That's it for today. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you're thinking about what actions you're going to take today to get your stuff done. I hope you see me again soon, gorgeous people.